Good afternoon, everyone. The produce sheet. Everything with the bold lettering in terms of produce up in price due to cold weather and rainy conditions. Canned beans and vegetable shortage once again. Hidden messages in Britain's nightmare before Christmas on The Economist magazine. Not one, but two anomalies in the sun happening 2019. New magnetic explosions on the sun and unexpected plasma rain. Well, it's not really unexpected because as we head into this grand solar minimum, you would expect energetic, particle, and magnetic changes across the sun and our Earth as well. And a beautiful sun halo, almost 3D. It looks like its own planet over Poland. What are the scariest things that you think about that could devastate your retirement savings today? The Chinese trade war, stock market crash, the Fed losing control of the overnight repo market. A clear sign that there's trouble ahead. Gold sitting at 6-year highs. And isn't it time to think about gold and silver as a hedge against a full-blown market crash? Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer, where you work directly with an owner and avoid paying absurd broker fees. Call today or request a free investment kit. The link's in the description box below. PatriotGoldGroup.com. Produce sheet. This is a wholesaler that sells to restaurants, resorts, that kind of food and beverage buyer. They're putting this update out to tell all their customers that the wholesale pricing level is going to increase in price due to, cold weather and rainy conditions. I highlighted it right there. Look at all the elevated expected prices on these things: asparagus, cauliflower, bell peppers, green onions, shallots, arugula, romaine, iceberg, all those type of leaf lettuces, spinach. We got the melons, cantaloupe, honeydew, up and up, snap, snow peas, strawberries, tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. If it's going up for the wholesalers that are selling to resorts and restaurants, you know that it's coming to the retail when you go to the supermarket and buy it up and up. If it's not already, it's going to be. And then we see it again. This was sent in from Mike, who lives in Houston. Due to product shortages caused by manufacturing issues, we will be out of several canned vegetables for extended period of time. That's real interesting. Like, who's in there buying all the cans again? Is the government back for round 2 of buying canned goods? Or is it that there's really not enough vegetable to put in these cans to keep the lines running? Because if it is, and we're at that loss already of food, we're in some serious problem, because we've seen it globally this year. Backyard farmers all the way to industrial farms. Yield declines something significant. But we're back at these canned shortages again. Now, since this is in Houston here, I thought I would let you look at the prices to see what it's like compared to where you are with the canned goods. And if your prices are not this high yet, this is where they're going. And as the food prices increase, globalists were shocked by the outcome of the elections, where they're like, bye-bye EU, we don't want to be part of you. And suddenly The Economist magazine, Britain's nightmare before Christmas, coded messages in here perhaps of the mini ice age. After all, the UK doesn't really get that cold during winter compared to Europe, Russia, Canada, parts of North America, more north. It's very mild compared to a lot of other places in the Northern Hemisphere during Christmas, but such an icy scene is kind of strange there. Or was it a message that you voted the wrong way? Because JP Morgan also issuing a 2020 alert for recession odds increasing after the election here, 2020 in the U.S., So like all these indicators are moving toward recession, downturn. We see China's really far down on manufacturing and orders, factory orders, exports. Received a message. It said, hey, David, can you take a look at this magnetic explosion on the sun? It's a new kind of something happening up there. And I said, yes. I went to the NASA website, and not only did I find one anomaly in the sun this year, I found two. Interesting. Plasma rain. And then magnetic field disruptions, explosions. Interesting stuff happening. So NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, or SDO, it's the one you can look at every day to get all the angstroms and different light wavelengths. You can really dive into the sun, see how many sunspots there are, magnetic polarity fields. You can really do a deep dive into the sun's activity daily on SDO. But that satellite set has observed a magnetic explosion, the likes of which have never been seen before. And I said, oh, it must go right along with the grand solar minimum because you would expect changes in the sun. whatever they might be. But you would expect changes starting right now. Images are going to do this a little bit better than words. So a large loop of material launched by an eruption out of the solar surface, it started to fall back to the surface of the sun, and before it got there, that prominence or energetic particle pack, if you will, ran down the field lines and sparked a magnetic explosion. Now, I linked this story below so you can watch the video, and it's pretty interesting how they were able to find this out of all the footage that comes in 24 hours a day off the SDO, that they actually went this much detail into the sun. That was a very good find. Whoever's doing the analysis on this, great find. They call it a forced magnetic reconnection. So magnetically up there on our sun, you see things are changing. And that has a direct influence on our Earth as well, because we're coupled with that thing. We're connected electromagnetically to the sun. So when it changes, our Earth's changing. Obviously, we're seeing the changes up there, so you're seeing the changes on the Earth, and everybody's baffled why the weather's getting so strange. And then also the second anomaly here, unexpected plasma rain on the sun links to solar mysteries. So what they first start out is explaining the Earth water cycle, how there's evaporation in the oceans, lakes, rivers, whatever, and then it goes up, condenses into clouds, and then it rains. We're familiar with that. But on the sun, it's a little different. It's plasma. As plasma cools, it condenses and gravity pulls it back down the magnetic loops to the field lines to the base of the sun and coronal rain. So they're saying they weren't expecting this. So what's changed up there where they weren't expecting the magnetic forcing to rip apart some CME and pull it back to the surface, and then we see this plasma rain coming down, what they weren't expecting either, to be slammed down the magnetic field lines back to the bottom of the loops on the sun. Interesting how this is all happening. But I found this one from the 1970s here, this NASA image, black and white. I love these older kind of newspaper graphic photos. You would expect the energetic particles to change with the magnetic field anomalies change, electromagnetic radiation changing. All these changes on our sun are now equating into changes on our Earth that you're seeing in front of your very eyes and through the news feeds. Now, the change in our sun is going to continue for the next decades, plural. So we're just stepping into the first decade of the changes. So by 2030, that's why my channel is named Adapt 2030. We're going to have to morph and change our food growing strategies and many things to keep us fed and happy and society continuing to function. Now, the forecast here going out, grand solar minimum, we already know that this and next solar cycle 26 are going to be lower than solar cycle 24. There's going to be less activity on the sun, changes on our planet here. We're going to jump up to Poland, incredible sun halo. I like the way it's 360. It almost looks like an eye. It almost looks like rings around another planet. Ice crystals in the air. Must be pretty cold. Guess it's not a hothouse. And the entire North Polar ice cap will disappear in 5 years. Remember, that's what Al Gore told us in 2008. Yeah, I remember. I'm not going to forget that. But since he said it, we thought we'd personally immortalize his name in a block of frozen tundra. How dare you? Do you see the AL encapsulated in ice? It's not CO2. It's not you. It's the sun. December only, limited edition design. Just 2 days left in the month, and then we're going to change it out. Head over to Teespring or Redbubble. Warning, this may trigger Al Gore. And it's a great way to support the Adapt 2030 channel so I can keep information like this flowing to you. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you got something out of it, and I will see you next time.